Namaskaram everyone. Are you grappling with the pain of a breakup or wondering if attachments leads to suffering? Well, you are in for a treat because Sadhguru has some eye-opening insight just for you. In this enlightening video, Sadhguru delves into the profound question, do attachments lead to suffering? So prepare to uncover the truth behind the emotional turmoil of breaking up. Sadhguru unravels the intricate connections between our mind, body, and memories. He sheds light on why breaking up is such a challenging process, both mentally and physically. So, if you ever wondered why moving from a relationship feels like a struggle, this video is a must watch. Get ready to gain profound insights and embark on a journey of a healing and self discovery with Sadhguru. Now it's time to unlock the secret of attachment and find inner peace.
From my limited understanding, or at least what we learned in textbooks, is Buddhism talks about how we should not be attached to something, or how in certain cases we should be detached. It talks about how suffering, one of the reasons behind suffering is attachment. Now, my question to you, Sadhguru, how can I help a particular friend or empathize with him if I'm not attached with him? So, this obsessiveness or attachment, is it necessarily bad?
See, this attachment-detachment business is a misunderstanding that's come out of the Gita in this country. People misunderstood Krishna like nothing, in the sense, people think Krishna is talking about detachment. Please look at his life. His life is involvement, isn't it? If you look at the scape of whatever we know about his life, whatever little we know about his life spells involvement, involvement, involvement with everything around him. So this person unfortunately is being accused of detachment. See, if there is no involvement, there is no life. You can only know life with involvement. Even if the meal that you eat today, if you're not involved, you will not know what it is. Without involvement, you cannot even taste life. Not possible. People are talking about detachment because of fear of suffering. Fear of suffering has come because when they involve, they get entangled. They do not know how to get involved, they just get entangled. Entanglement is happening because your involvement is very discriminatory. Is that sinking in?
So, I should be equally involved in everything, is what you're saying?
Tell me, if you are less involved in your breath and more involved in your eating, you think life will work? See, breath is involuntary, that's why I'm using the word breath, because it's involuntary, you don't have to do anything, it's just happening. But we're involved by keeping the air conditioning on, otherwise we'll suffocate. This is our involvement, we turned on the machine. We may not be consciously breathing, all right? But we are involved. Without involvement in every aspect of life, you will get skewed. And that is when psychologically you get messed up so much that in many ways mind gets deranged. Seeing this, somebody said, you're too attached, you must be detached. No, detachment will not work either. Can you be detached and do something well? Can you do something well being detached about it? No, you need absolute involvement. If you have an indiscriminate sense of involvement, you will see there is no entanglement in your involvement. If you discriminate, you will get entangled. The problem is of discrimination, not of involvement.
You need to understand this. What you call as myself right now is a huge volume of memory. Your body is the way it is, simply because of the genetic memory that it carries. You have your mother's nose, your father's complexion and something else, your grandfather's something else, simply because what you call as your body is a complex amalgamation of memory. A very ancient memory lives in your body. What you call as my mind is 100% memory right now. So you are a huge heap of memory in many ways. And memory goes into you in different ways. Through all the five senses, you gather memory. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. Of all these 5 different ways of gathering memory, what you see and what you touch are the deepest forms of memory. Especially what you touch creates a certain level of memory in the system. So when you say a spouse, you have touched, and there is a certain level of memory. Now, your divorce means in some way you're trying to rip that memory off, and that's not going to be easy for various reasons. But at the same time, the very fact that you're going through your divorce means you want to be finished with that memory in some way. Maybe not erase that memory, but someone who was a spouse, someone who was in many ways a part of your life, slowly, for whatever reason, you have begun to experience them as a baggage that you're unwilling to carry. So, you want to keep the baggage aside, but you find the baggage is not something that you voluntarily carry, it is something that compulsively sticks to you. So when whatever sticks to you compulsively, if you try to rip it off, there will be pain. See if you can get rid of your mother from your system. You will see it's impossible. So similarly, memory has built up about your spouse, you can't just get rid of it just like that. If you do it, even mentally, psychologically, if you're equipped to do it, you will still see the whole system will go through a certain level of suffering invariably. Even if emotionally, psychologically you're in a balanced state that you can deal with it, the system will go through a certain process. You will see that especially when you are taken away from your spouse either through divorce or death, you will see the memory within your system plays up much more strongly when they're not here. Particularly when death happens, you will see the memory of your spouse works in every cell in your body, if you have lived long enough together. It is not just an emotional and psychological process, it is a very physical process. So divorce is a voluntary death. You have decided to kill something that is a part of you in some way. It is because of this reason that having this understanding of the existence and the way the system functions, that they always told you, till death do you apart, you will not part. Because there is a physical memory about this, and the body doesn't have the balance of the mind. The mind can decide and turn around, but the body cannot turn around. The more memory you build into it, the more confused it becomes. So one type of memory, body handles it much better. Now that you've chosen to divorce for whatever reasons, which I don't want to delve into, if it could be avoided, that would be best. But for some reason, you have come to that situation where this has to happen. You need to understand this, that divorce essentially means you have chosen to kill something which is a part of you, because what you call as myself is just a certain volume of memory. Now, to how to conduct this gracefully? Most people think the best way to conduct a divorce is immediately jump into another relationship and another relationship of the same kind. No, you will cause much more struggle and turmoil within the system by doing that. It's extremely important the body has enough time to work out the memory. The body has enough time to keep the memory at a certain distance. Otherwise, you will render yourself to a space where to make yourself peaceful and joyful will become an extremely hard thing to do in your life. So conducting this process gracefully and well is important, as it is important to conduct every aspect of your life gracefully and well. Now, two people who have shared their emotion, their body, their sensations and their living spaces. Ripping it apart is because two memories have merged in many ways. Ripping it apart is almost like tearing yourself apart. Even though you might have begun to almost come to a place where you can't stand the person anymore, still it hurts. Simply because you are trying to rip out a memory which is you, because you are a bundle of memory. If one does the necessary spiritual sadhana, if one does sufficient inner work to establish these energies, which is yourself, you're only divorcing your spouse, you need not divorce yourself. But you need to understand this, you have already divorced yourself, you're quite divorced from your own self. Your existence has been nurtured by making a bond, a partnership or a bondage, depending upon how you conducted this, to make yourself feel whole in some way. Most partnerships of this nature are made because by yourself you would feel insufficient, incomplete, but that's not how life is. This is a complete life process by itself. It does not need any assistance from outside. So now that you come to such a situation, it is time to turn inward and see. It is time that you find the completeness of what this life is. It is time you discover that this being is a complete being. It does not need any external assistance to be the way it is. To conduct our life in a society, we are interdependent, but the fundamental existence of this, the balance of what this is, the space of what this is, the possibility of what this is a complete process by itself. Our interdependence is only according to our external requirements, but our inner existence is complete by itself. You are divorcing your spouse, which is bad enough. Do not divorce yourself from yourself.
As we wrap up this discussion on navigating the complexities of breakup and divorce, it's important to remember that life experiences, whether joyful or painful, are part of our journey towards growth and realization. Sadhguru has shared profound insights on understanding and transcending the pain associated with these experiences. The pain of divorce and a breakup can be intense, both mentally and physically, as the memories are deeply ingrained within us. But it is crucial to recognize that this too shall pass. Just as we embrace moments of happiness, we must also accept moments of sorrow as a part of the human experiences. Sadhguru reminds us that attachment is often mistaken as the cause of our suffering. Instead, it is our resistance to change and our inability to gracefully handle transitions that can lead to prolonged agony. By gaining a deeper understanding of our emotions and the nature of attachments, we can find the strength to heal and move forward. We hope that Sadhguru's wisdom has provided you with the valuable insight and guidance during challenging times. Remember, your journey towards emotional healing and growth is unique, and there is no fixed timeline for recovery. We invite you to explore more of Sadhguru's teachings on this channel. You will find a wealth of knowledge and inspiration to support you on your path. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to having you back for more transformative discussion and exploration. Your presence here is greatly appreciated, and together we can continue to seek clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. Namaskaram.